Welcome to Khanversations. I'm Muqtadar Khan, your host, and today I'm going to talk to you about the death of Senator Lindsey Graham. The death of Lindsey Graham has sort of generated a small conspiracy theory industry. There are people out there who are claiming that either he has been assassinated by Iran or even by Russia, because just a few hours before his death, he was in Ukraine. He just flew back from Ukraine and then had what authorities are now calling a cardiac dysfunction or a cardiac arrest. And he has died essentially from that. In the beginning, his staff had made an announcement, said he died because of certain short-term illness. An illness didn't last for too long and he died. So there were lots of rumors. Part of the rumors have been sort of triggered by even Kash Patel, the FBI director, who every time he opens his mouth, he puts his foot in his mouth. And so this time again, he tweeted something which essentially began to fuel this idea that the FBI was investigating the death of Lindsey Graham, etc. So we'll talk about it a little, but Lindsey Graham was the biggest neocon warmonger of this country. He probably is responsible for the deaths of thousands of people in many countries. Undoubtedly, he was pushing and egging Donald Trump to not sign the memorandum of understanding to continue to bomb Iran. He was fully supportive of the genocide in Gaza, and he is fully supportive of a major war with Russia. So this warmonger finally has left us, but I wish he had been alive till the elections, because there was a pretty good chance that the people of South Carolina would have rejected him, given his record of worrying more about foreign countries and wars rather than the welfare of his own people. Now there will be a new Republican candidate, fresh with no record, and given the fact that South Carolina leans so much towards the right, we might get a conservative Republican in the Senate from South Carolina. But let me tell you how these stories have been fueled. Senator Lindsey Graham was Donald Trump's one of his major supporters of Netanyahu, major supporter of Israel. He was more interested in sending his constituents to fight and defend Israel and Ukraine than the United States itself. But there was stories going on already in the media, which let me share them with you, about how these are stories floated by MAGA, people like Laura Loomer and others, who are arguing that it is possible that he may have been assassinated by Russia or Iran or both of them. As you recall, when Donald Trump went to Turkey for the NATO summit, what he did there was on his way back. So he went on this trip using the Qatari jet, which was gifted to him in this new Air Force One. And when he was there, on the way back, he switched to the old version of the Air Force One and then flew from Ankara to London in the old Air Force One, and then from London to the United States he switched back to the Qatari plane. His argument was that, I'm sending this Air Force One so that the soldiers who are stationed in London can look and admire at the gift that the Qataris had given him. So, but then the story broke out that the Israelis had told Donald Trump, the Israelis keep feeding his ego and telling him lies, and he seems to be continuing to act upon that, just as they told him that the Iranian regime would collapse like this in a few days and people would stand up and protest against it, which none of that has happened for months now. But anyway, they told him that Iran was about to assassinate him, and they had intelligence that Iran was planning to kill him, and therefore Donald Trump kind of decided to act in a precautionary fashion and changed his plane. So I guess there was some attempt to shoot that plane down, the Qatari jet. So from there on, this whole idea, and during the Khamenei's Ali Khamenei, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the senior cleric and the supreme leader of Iran, who was killed by Israeli and American attacks. During his funeral, there were lots of such stories coming out that Lindsey Graham was also being targeted. So you can see posters like this were on display during the funeral, along with Trump's and Netanyahu's. So these are the top targets of the Iranian people. And so actually, Lindsey Graham laughed about the possibility that he could be assassinated by the Iranians. He said he was happy that they used a nice picture of his. And so there were other stories that were leaking. Let me show you. Donald Trump is taking it very seriously, even though Lindsey Graham did not. So, for example, Israel reported that and warned the U.S. that Iran was devising plots to assassinate him. And Donald Trump took this report quite seriously, and this is what he tweeted. It's very interesting. So he says 1,000 missiles are locked and loaded and aimed at the Islamic Republic of Iran, with thousands of more to immediately follow should the Iranian government act on its threat pronounced in many corners of the globe to assassinate or attempt to assassinate the sitting president of the United States of America. In this case, orders have already been given, and the U.S. military is ready, willing, and able for a 1-year period of time, subject to extension, to completely decimate and destroy all areas of Iran. Praise be to Allah. I don't know why he has to say this, but what he's trying to say is that this was on July 10th, 2 days ago. So what Donald Trump is trying to say is that if he is assassinated, then the United States military has been ordered to nuke Iran, all parts of Iran, so kill 92 million people. He must be so bloody scared. Is that why he is issuing such a major threat? It's quite a strange thing. I'm not very sure whether that would happen. I think the decision to use nuclear weapons will be the decision of the person who becomes the next president. So if Donald Trump was assassinated, J.D. Vance would become president. The U.S. would not go to war on a dead president's orders. But I don't think Donald Trump understands the U.S. Constitution. He really doesn't care. He doesn't realize that most of the Iranian leadership is composed of professors who teach. So they will probably just figure it out anyway, but this is just bravado. But it is also interesting that this is preying on his mind, because he was target of assassination. Iranians did not do that, but they were there were attempts on his life, as there were attempts on other senators and all. Charlie Kirk was also killed in this country. So there is a lot of political violence going on in the U.S., and Donald Trump was targeted on more than one occasion. So there is this fear and perception going on. But one more reason why there is this high-level speculation that is because of this tweet from this absolutely incompetent idiot of a director that we have of FBI, Kash Patel. So this is what he tweeted. He says that Senator Lindsey Graham was a devoted public servant, a fierce defender of our nation, and a true patriot who dedicated his life to the people of South Carolina and the United States. Our prayers are with his family, loved ones, colleagues, and all those who knew him during this devastating time. I don't understand. Our prayers are with his family. I can understand. Loved ones, I can understand. But why is he praying for everybody why is he praying for everybody who knows him? I find that a bit surprising. I know him. So is Kash Patel also praying for me? Anyway, thank you, Kash. But this is the sentence that has created a lot of problem. The FBI is assisting local authorities and has made every necessary resource available. This was the trigger for all these conspiracy theories, primarily from the MAGA crowd. Somebody called Laura Loomer is one of those prominent peddlers of these kind of conspiracy theories. She has argued that either it's the Russians or it is the Iranians who are, so this is one of her tweets. I don't want to give her too much air, but this is what she's trying to say, that an Iranian regime, etc., has this account. It is threatening apparently her. She's asking for FBI protection for her or Secret Service protection for herself. So she wants security, and she feels that Iran is going to assassinate her because she tweets, her tweets are generally very pro-Israel and very anti-Islam. She's one of the most virulent, venomous, hateful and nasty Islamophobic commentator on Twitter, and apparently she has her ear to Donald Trump, listens to her all the time. I mean, these are the brilliant people that advise Donald Trump's policy making. She has in the past got a lot of people fired because Trump listens to her, and she has also taken credit for the Secret Service removing protection to the son of Joe Biden, which is Hunter Biden, who now says that he's going to run for president. I guess committing crimes and doing nasty things are a precursor these days to becoming eligible to run. You just need to do two things: be pro-Israel and then commit some kind of a fraud or a crime or something very shitty like going around with prostitutes like Hunter Biden did. And then now you're qualified to become the president of the United States. So what's my take? I don't think that Iran has time to assassinate Lindsey Graham. Yes, there must be Laura Loomer type people even in Iran who are just enjoying themselves. They seem to be thrilled that Senator Lindsey Graham is dead. What they don't know is that we probably have 1,000 people like that ready to take his place with the same kind of ideology and the same kind of disregard for the lives of other people on the planet. So losing Lindsey Graham is no gain for humanity or anybody else. We have a lot of scumbags who will come and take his and replace him. There are many, you can see that. But I don't think that Iran was responsible for it. These people are very well protected. The U.S. intelligence is not like, well, actually it is like the Iranian intelligence, completely, subverted and occupied and hacked by the Israelis. Just as Israelis know exactly what's going on in Iran, they know exactly what's going on in the U.S. But other than that, I don't think anybody else has the capacity to penetrate the U.S. intelligence the way the U.S. has penetrated other societies, intelligence agencies and their societies. So I don't think that Iran is responsible for this assassination. Do they have plots? Maybe they do, but they're probably focused more on leaders, because one must recognize that the United States and Israel have killed many of Iranian leaders. So there must be somebody in Iran who's thinking, oh, we need to take revenge for that, including Ayatollah Khamenei's son, Mujtaba Khamenei, has issued a statement saying that his father's death will be avenged. Now we don't know how that will be done. So yes, there are people in Iran who are probably thinking about it, but I don't think that Lindsey Graham, was he poisoned by the Russians while he was with Zelensky in Kiev, where he was just a day before when he went to Kiev, came back and he died. I don't know if the Russians could get into Kiev and poison Lindsey Graham, then why would they not do that to Zelensky? Zelensky would be a more useful target for Russia than Lindsey Graham. So if they could get Lindsey Graham, they could also get Zelensky, and that has not happened. So I don't think that these two conspiracy theories are really valid, but nevertheless, there's a lot of chatter going on, and I thought I will just address the issue because I've got tired and a bit bored talking about the same thing over and over and over again with regards to the Strait of Hormuz and Iran. And it's like the Groundhog Day. The same thing is repeating every day. Iran is hitting a tanker. U.S. is hitting Iran. Iran is hitting U.S. bases in the Gulf countries. This has become a kind of a loop. And Donald Trump is stuck there because he did not listen to his own intelligence agencies. He listened to Israelis. Remember that if you are listening to the Israelis, they are lying to you. They're going to use you to advance whatever is their interest. Nothing in your interest will work. He was stupid to listen to Netanyahu and not listen to U.S. intelligence agencies, which told him three things. One, that Iran was not an imminent threat to the United States. But this idiot went ahead with a war because he was told by the Israelis that, oh, this will be fantastic. No American president has achieved this. We will have a regime change within 3 to 4 weeks. The people of Iran will rise, etc., etc. Then we can install a king, a clown as king of Iran, whose first thing that he will do is recognize Israel and then do whatever Israel wants. That is the agenda that the Israelis sold to Donald Trump. That was his first mistake. He did not believe his own intelligence and military, who said that Iran will block the Strait of Hormuz. The Israelis said no, they will not. He believed the Israelis. So this idiot goes and believes Israelis and does not believe his own people, and that's why we are in this permanent loop. Donald Trump promised the American citizens that there will be no regime change wars, then there will be no endless wars or forever wars in the Middle East, and that's exactly where we are. This war started on the 28th of February. March, April, May, June, July. This is the 5th month of the war. In another 15 days, it will be 5 months. This was supposed to end in 4 to 6 weeks. I don't think this is going to end by the end of Donald Trump's term. He's stuck with the Strait of Hormuz. If he lets Iran have the Strait of Hormuz, he'll be a far bigger loser. The history and the world is going to laugh at him. Even the stupid MAGA people, right-wing idiots who vote for people like Trump and all the others, even they at some point, it'll go through their thick skull that, oh shit, this is worse than JCPOA, this is worse than what Obama got us. Not only has Iranian regime survived, it controls the Strait of Hormuz, and it has not given up the enriched uranium that it has. None of these three things existed before. Yes, the regime was there, but there was Strait of Hormuz was open before the war, and Iran had stopped enriching uranium while the JCPOA was active. It's only when Donald Trump pulled out of the JCPOA that Iran started enriching uranium and has 1,000 pounds of 60% enriched uranium, with which can build 10 to 12 dirty bombs. That is the fear. So Mr. Donald Trump, who thinks he's very smart, is bogged down like every other president that he mocked as stupid in a forever war in the Middle East. And the only reason for that is he listened to Israel and Israel's mouthpieces in America, people like Lindsey Graham. Thank you for watching Khanversations. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, press the bell icon, and don't forget to share this video with your socio-political network. Until next time, I'm your host, Muqtadar Khan. Take care.